Welcome to Hey Mom, We Never Prepared for This, the show where we have the tough conversations around aging and caring for a loved one. Whether you're an adult child or an aging parent or anyone caring for a loved one, this podcast is for you. I am your host, Angela Vanderpool, and each episode we dive into actionable tips, heartfelt stories, and expert guidance to support you on your journey. Let's get started. Welcome back to Hey Mom, We Never Prepared for This, the podcast that holds space for honest conversations about aging, care, and the choices we never thought we would have to make. Today, I'm super excited to continue our Spotlight series on Dharma Healthcare Managed Communities. Today, we're heading to Eugene, Oregon to shine the light on a truly special place, Terpening Terrace. Rooted in family and community since day one, Terpening Terrace began as the original Terpening family home, and over the years, it's blossomed from orchards and rose gardens into a vibrant retirement community, one that honors its deep roots while embracing innovation, elegance, and heart-led hospitality. And today, I'm joined by two women who are woven into the fabric of this place. Kim Stokes, General Manager since the day the building opened almost 25 years ago, and Kimberly Richards, Marketing Director. These two not only work here, they live and breathe the mission of Terpening Terrace, and I can't wait for you to hear all of their stories. So Kimberly, thank you both for being here today with us. And today I want to start talking just a little bit about the legacy of Terpening Terrace and what it means to both of you to be a part of a community that has been serving seniors in Eugene for almost 25 years now. And I would like to start maybe with you, Kim, since you are kind of the face of Terpening Terrace and have been since day one. So welcome. And I would love to hear a little bit about the legacy of Terpening.
No, thank you, Angela. There's nothing I love more than talking about Terpening Terrace. It's just a part of who I am. I opened Terpening Terrace almost 25 years ago, and I'm just filled with overwhelming pride. I started the building when it was still unfurnished. I watched every piece come together like a home being built. And as a general manager, it's been like a fairy tale come true for me to lead this community. The legacy of the Terpening Terrace, the Terpening family, Bill and Patsy Terpening, Connie Terpening, Bill Terpening's mother, both were teachers. And the original White House and the orchard was right here on this property, makes it very deeply personal to me. When I give tours and show the photo book of their teaching days and the classes, or the 1952 aerial photo that hangs on the wall in Packard Place, I hear stories from the prospects when they come in that they remember Connie and Patsy Terpening as teachers and in this Danabo community. It's like connecting the past and the present. It means everything to be a part of a place that's been a home for seniors in the Eugene for so long. So,
oh, that's just wonderful, Kim. Yes, that certainly talks to the legacy of Terpening Terrace and the family and you. So, Kimberly, I would love to hear a little bit from you as well, because I know you have been a part of the Terpening community for many years as well.
I would have to say that it is nothing less than an ultimate privilege to be a part of this community. Terpening Terrace is amazing. It's so amazing to be participating in this community and this company that provides such services to the senior community, but also to the staff that are here, led by Kim. She's an amazing general manager, and it provides us all here as staff members a sense of purpose to come to work every day.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Kimberly. Next, I would like to kind of look back over the last 25 years and talk a little bit about how Terpening Terrace has evolved over that time. And during that evolution, what core values have stayed strong through all of that. And we'll go ahead and let you start again with that, Kim, just since you've been there since day one and kind of talk about that for us.
Well, with the span that long, I've seen a lot of incredible changes. The core values, obviously, are the services that are provided to the residents on a day-to-day basis, and I take that very seriously. But I've seen, like, our dining room go from scheduled meal times, like for lunch, breakfast, and dinner when we first opened. They were scheduled times to all-day dining, giving residents the freedom to eat when they want. Our transportation program used to be involved where it was part of our activities department. And now they had like fixed outings. They were fixed to go grocery shopping or go to doctor's appointments, to now that we are very flexible. We have an on-demand transportation. So residents can go to doctor's appointments or grocery shopping on their terms. These changes reflect our drive to level up and provide the best services possible. And yet our core values, compassion, respect, and treating residents like family, have never wavered. The Terpening family legacy of care, rooted in their history on this land, still guides us. We're always asking, how can we make it better while keeping the heart of service intact?
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you, Kim. Kimberly, I would love if you would speak to this too. I think just your story alone of evolution at Terpening Terrace speaks to the importance of that to us as a company. But I will let you share a little bit with us.
I have been able to see Terpening grow over the last 18 years now. It's, like I said, it's a privilege to be here. Over the years, I've witnessed Terpening transform in remarkable ways as a whole community. So not focusing on my individual growth and transformation, but as the community, I've watched us expand our services, increasing our staff-led activities, developing amazing wellness and fitness programs, constantly adapting to feed the desire of the residents as we grow through the years, which has been amazing to watch. We don't just get stuck in our ways here. We grow constantly. It is really great to be a part of. Compassion is definitely a core value. Our vision, our bird vision, is a compass that we are led by. And I truly believe that the bird compass, belonging, integrity, respect, and dedication, has definitely ensured the human connection remains the beating heart of our evolution, and it guides us through the whole growth while staying rooted in that compassion.
That's wonderful. Love it. Love it. So next I would like to talk a little bit about a little more personal side of it and what drew you to this work in the beginning, and also what keeps you coming back every day. Because I know in this work, some days are not as easy as others. So I would love if you could just share a little bit about why you got into this industry and what keeps you here. And we'll go ahead and just start with you again, Kim, if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all. I was drawn to senior living because I believe that every stage of life deserves dignity and joy. When I started Terpening Terrace in 2000, I had no idea I was still going to be here in 25 years later. But the residents' happiness is what keeps me coming back. Hearing the family members thank us daily about how passionate our team is, who go above and beyond, gives me peace and comfort. When the residents or the family members call Terpening Terrace home, that's what really warms my heart. And it chokes me up. I don't want to choke up right at the moment, thinking too hard on it. When somebody calls their home, that means a lot. So knowing we are creating an environment where seniors are excited to live and thrive, that's the that's what feeds me. That's what keeps me coming back. Because you see families come in, they don't have that expectation. They're just finding maybe a solution to their problem. And then when they find that their parents are happy and they're thriving, and it's to see that transformation that it exceeds their expectations, that's what keeps me coming back. Then we know we've done a good job.
How about you, Kimberly?
Little different than Kim's beginning. What brought me here was I needed employment.
Yep.
18 years ago, I was still in high school. So the intention of having a job, I didn't intend to stay as long as I have. I didn't really have big future plans at that point. But I will say that what kept me coming back to work day in and day out, and then month after month and year after year, is a true sense of belonging that you get when you're here in the building, in the community. I felt it through and through, a sense of belonging here, but I also got to witness it through the residents, through the family members, through other staff. It was definitely nothing that I had ever felt before. So kept me coming back every day. It's amazing. It's soul feeding to experience being in a place that has values that align with mine as a worker, which is, I think, very unique. Almost every day, I'm just beyond grateful to be here.
Oh, that's wonderful. I love it. Is there any specific stories or a moment that either one of you might want to share that really reminds you of why this work matters? And I'll let either one of you start.
I'll go. I can't say that I have just one experience. Almost every day, I am reminded of why I do this. At some point each day, I am beyond honored to walk next to, conversate with, or offer a helping hand to amazing people who live here at Terpening, are blessed to have gotten to this very complex stage of life, and what they offer in return is wisdom, a funny story from their past, just conversation and true connection. That's truly important to me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's beautiful. How about you, Kim? Any stories that you would like to share?
I think I have one that is a fairly good example, and probably pretty typical. I remember one resident that's really stood out for me, is very quiet, petite woman. And when she arrived, you could tell she was very hesitant leaving her home. And during the tour, we went into Packer Place, and she saw the 1952 aerial shot, and so you can see how River Road has changed, and there's all these changes. And I started talking about Connie and Patsy Terpening as being teachers in Danabo, and she just lit up, and she was a teacher, and she's like, I know. I think it was Connie. I'm pretty sure it was Connie. I've had several teachers say this, so having that reaction. But she's just sparked something inside of her, like so she found her place, like she can relate to this. And so when she moved in, she started joining the social hour. And you could just see her, just the transformation was starting to socialize and be and connecting with others by sharing just a history. It just reminded me why I do this, because it's we help their residents rediscover joy and a purpose at this stage of their life. To me, that's incredible.
Pretty special gift to be able to experience every day. That's for sure. Yeah. Well, and speaking of that, and speaking to the heart of what we get to do every day, in your experience, what's the biggest difference Terpening Terrace makes in the lives of residents or their family members? And Kim, we'll go ahead and let you start with that one if you don't mind.
Okay. Terpening Terrace gives residents a vibrant, active life and families a peace of mind. I hear families say, I can't believe how happy mom and dad are since moving here, whether it's through the all-day dining or the on-demand transportation or our activities programs. We create a place where residents feel at home and excited for each day's adventure. For families, it's the relief of knowing that their loved one is cared for by a team that treats them like family. And we bridge independence and support, making life fuller for the resident and easing the burden for their loved ones. I think that's a very critical part of our job here.
Yes, absolutely. Kimberly, would you like to add anything to that?
I will agree with peace of mind for both the residents and the family members. I think most importantly to all of us, we want to just know that we're safe, and we want to know that our loved ones are safe. We want to know that we can have open lines of communication, whether it's for ourselves or for our loved ones. It's really important. And so I would say that I got to watch multiple families and residents come into Terpening, and they received that peace shortly after coming. Their shoulders dropped 3 inches from the first day of walking in here to moving in. And it's like their neck grows, their head is held high, their shoulders. They know that they can come talk to us. They know that their family can call in and talk to any one of us and get a check-in on mom and see how she's adjusting and adapting, and also give us advice on how to help navigate the individual to be more open and involved in the. So it is nice to see that we offer that peace of mind, because that's what I want for my own self, and for my family and life.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. Well, that kind of leads me to this next question. So sometimes when seniors or family members are starting this process, the senior might not be on board with this type of move. It might feel a little bit overwhelming for them. They might be scared. And I'm wondering if either of you or both of you have a story you'd like to share about a resident who was hesitant or even resistant to moving in, and then later how they truly thrived at Terpening Terrace. So you're both smiling, so I imagine you have some good stories to share here.
I'll take that. We've laughed about this for many years. It's the all-time best move-in story, I believe, that there is. So I had a resident, and both him and his wife have since passed, but I had a resident that a couple, and the wife came in and toured and decided that she loved it and she wanted to move in. And he was, I'm not ready. And both of them taking a very strong stance. And it was less than a week after the tour, she come back in and put her deposit down, and I'm moving in. And they said, oh, well, will your husband be moving in? She goes, nope, he doesn't want to. I'm not cooking anymore. I'm not making beds anymore. I'm not doing this. I will show him one time how to do shopping. And that is it. He's on his own, and he will eventually move in. So we were talking about it before the podcast and trying to remember when that was. Yeah, I think we both knew it was more than a month that he lasted.
Oh,
but
wow.
It was right around the 6-week mark when he finally moved in, because they were both stubborn on that. And she was just living it up for 6 weeks. She didn't have to cook or clean or do anything. And he finally was like, that's it. He moved in about 6 weeks later. And then he acclimated, and it was fine. They lived here for a very long time. And then when she passed away, this was home. This was home. And he wouldn't think of being any other place. And so that is a story where, sometimes the wife just has to put her foot down and hang in there.
Sometimes, right?
We heard resistance before, but that I think is the best one of all time. She actually she's like, I'm moving.
Yeah. She's like, I'm going, whether you do or not. That is a great story. I love it. Yes. One of the other important things, and you guys have touched on this a few times through the podcast, but the connections that we make with the family members of our residents are such a powerful part of this work and what we get to do. And I'm just wondering if there's any particular relationships with a resident's family that stands out to you that has been extra meaningful or long lasting. I would love to have you share any stories you have around that as well.
I don't necessarily, again, no specific one story.
Yes.
Endless connections that I built with residents, family members, and long lasting. They keep popping back in. Family members of former residents who have since passed, they come in, say hi, visit other residents, or now they have a neighbor who's here. Yeah. So they resurface long lasting connections for sure. Nothing. There's no one that I can really speak on. I know all important. I have one.
Okay. Let's
I think my one is everyone that was here during that time. It's their one too. And it was a gentleman by the name of Marvin Rainey, and he lived here 16 years. And we had a common thread. He liked classic cars, but he also loved horses. So he loved my husband does classic cars, and I do horses. And he fell in love with my horse, and he was there. He would come out privately and come out and visit my horse before she had a baby, and then he would be there after the baby was born, and he would spend the first few months of them. He just was very involved with her and all of her babies, and so Marvin was pretty incredible. And he just was a delightful human being, and he had a very large friends. So a lot of his friends moved in. He was just very social, very well known in the community. It's very, very wonderful. Very missed. Good family too. Yeah, very good.
Yeah, so wonderful. So many amazing stories that touch our hearts when we do this work. That's for sure. So finally, I kind of want to wrap up our time together today by a lot of people listening to this podcast are just starting this process of looking for, senior living or that type of thing. And with both of your experience and wisdom, I would love to hear maybe what advice you would give to family member or the senior themselves who's just beginning to explore the idea of senior living for the first time. Maybe share a bit of wisdom from your years of experience doing this work. And we could start with you, Kim, if you would like.
I think the important part is to start with an open mind and visit communities like Terpening Terrace. Walk through the spaces, talk to staff and residents, and see the energy of the place. Look for a community that feels like home and where the team knows each resident's story and fosters a connection. For seniors, I'd say this isn't about losing independence. It's about gaining a community that supports you to live fully. For families, trust your instincts. Choose a place where your loved ones will be celebrated for who they are. At Terpening Terrace, we strive to make every day an adventure, and I encourage you to find a place that does the same.
That's great. Kimberly?
Completely agree with everything. Ask all the questions, tour around with all the options that are available to the individual, whether it's you, yourself, or the family member that you're looking for. Gather the information. That way you know what the options are. Ultimately, listen with your hearts, because that's going to lead you in the right direction. I think everybody here just so desires that the sense of belonging and the love that is felt within Terpening should be available to everybody. Yeah. Everybody should have that.
Absolutely. Agreed. Yes. Listen with your hearts. What great advice. Kim, Kimberly, thank you both so much for being here today and sharing your stories and giving us a glimpse into your hearts and the heart of Terpening Terrace. And both of your dedication shines through, obviously. So Terpening Terrace is lucky to have you both, and the rest of the Terpening team I know is just as incredible. So thank you both for being here today. And if any of our listeners are curious to learn more about Terpening Terrace, please visit their website. That'll be listed in our show notes. And always, thank you for spending time with us here on Hey Mom, We Never Prepared for This. We will see you all next time. Thanks for tuning in to Hey Mom, We Never Prepared for This. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It really helps us reach more adult children and their aging parents and loved ones. Special thanks to our sponsor, Dharma Healthcare Management, for supporting the show. Stay tuned for more honest conversations to help you find peace, clarity, and community with others who understand what you're going through. And we'll see you next time on Hey Mom, We Never Prepared for This.